Hey guys, so you're socially isolated and you're bored out of your mind. You don't know what to do. I'm here to tell you that it's okay. You will get through this. You can do it. I can do it. I've been isolating for 4 years for my own health now. I'm sure you can handle a few weeks till a couple months. I believe in you. But I have ideas for you for something to do if you're super bored. Maybe you can't work from home and you don't have an income. These will also help distract you from that. And if you get good enough, maybe you could make an income off it. So, a little thing, if you're quarantined, please don't do the stuff that requires you to leave your house. Or, it's safer for everyone if you stay home. So please stay home if you're under quarantine. The first one, learn to meditate. And I know a lot of people would be like, what? But living in the moment, especially in times like these, is very important. Stressing about an uncertain future is never certain. All that stress is going to do is harm you. So learning to take a step back, look inside, and live in the moment is very important. Other things you can do, read that book that you've been putting off for a while. Do a puzzle. I have a puzzle. You might have a puzzle. There's apps online for puzzles. Photography. You could take up photography. Pictures of things around your house. Maybe learn to edit them. That could be useful. Pictures of things out in nature if you go outside for a walk, if you're not quarantined. Nature pictures are always good. Color. Draw. Mend those clothes that have a small hole in them that you don't want to get rid of. You shouldn't get rid of. Learn how to mend. Do that sewing project you've been putting off for a while. For me, I need to replace a couple zippers on a few sweaters. That'll keep me busy for a while. I've never done zippers before. Take up a new hobby. I personally took up knitting in my year and 7 months of never leaving the house. So I've done a couple blankets, a whole bunch of dishcloths and washcloths, scarves, knit myself 2 shirts. It's a very productive hobby. Crocheting is another fiber art. Same with macrame. They're very useful. And they keep your hands busy. So even if you're watching a movie, you can work on your stuff, keeping your hands busy, and it helps with stress. Learn something new. YouTube has all sorts of videos on that. There's also other learning platforms. I know Skillshare is one. I'm sure there's other ones out there. That's just the one I see advertised the most. But you can learn a new skill. That'd be wonderful. Maybe even learn a new language. Organize and clean your home. I'm sure everyone has heard of the KonMari method with Marie Kondo. Now's a good time to do that. Go through your closet, go through all of your makeup, cleaning supplies, kitchen, everything, and figure out what you need and what you don't need or don't want or what makes you upset. Set it aside for donation or selling when this whole thing is over. And then, your house will be tidy. And a cluttered house does not help with stress, so it's a good way to de-stress. Home renovation or DIY projects. Now, if you don't have the supplies for your project, maybe now is the time to go into detail on planning. If you're in an area where these things can be delivered, order delivery for your supplies. And then you don't have to go to the store and worry about that. And you can do the project you haven't had a chance to do yet. Gardening is another one that I highly recommend. It's seed starting time. It's time to plant. For me, not outside yet because I still have 2 feet of snow on the ground. But in other places, it is time to plant in the ground. You could build a garden bed if you have a yard. If not, it's nice container gardening. But that's what I did when I was off never leaving the house for a year and 7 months, I built myself a couple raised garden beds in my backyard. And gardening gives you a sense of accomplishment too. You see something start, it sprouts, grows, and if you're growing food, then you get to eat it. Flowers are very pretty to look at, and plants always help boost your mood. So I'd recommend trying gardening. Organize and digitize all your photos and your videos, whatever you happen to have for media. If you have a scanner, perfect. Scan all your old photos and organize them all. Go through and organize all your digital documents, files, media, whatever. Another thing I recommend, something to do, and something that I have done in my isolation, is to go through and organize all your most used recipes. What I did is I went on my computer and I typed them all out so they were all in the same formats and made myself a recipe binder. And that's something to do. It took me weeks. It's a great idea for taking some time, feeling some accomplishment. Experimenting in the kitchen. Maybe there's a recipe that you've wanted to try, but because you work full time and it takes 4 or 5 hours to make, you've never done it. Now would be a perfect time to do it. You have time. You can also try making something new, something you've never had before. It's worth a shot. And I mean, if you don't cook, now is the perfect opportunity to learn to cook. Cooking saves you a lot of money, and in times like these, exposure. Some people have instruments just hanging out in their house. Drums, guitars. Maybe you have some stuff, an instrument from high school. A flute, a trumpet, a trombone, clarinet. Whatever you happen to have, pick it up again or pick it up for the first time. Learn how to play, relearn how to play. There are resources online. Also online, you can download coloring stuff for free. A few art galleries and stuff. I'm not sure which ones, but I've seen mention that some of them are presenting things online for free or for a very small fee. So a virtual tour of an art gallery or museum is also something you could do. If you're not in quarantine, volunteer in your community. There are those that are in quarantine that are super high risk, that are disabled, and all these people are going to need help. You don't have to do like face-to-face contact. But like if you need to go to the grocery store for something, contact these people that are in your community and say, I'm going to the grocery store. Is there something I can get you if they have it in stock? And if they give you the order, pick it up for them, maybe an e-transfer for money. You can ring the doorbell, leave it at the step. With a disability, it depends on what kind of disability as to whether they'll be able to pick the stuff up off the doorstep, or if maybe it'll be a face-to-face exchange. But that's a great way to help out the people who are high risk, who are in quarantine, and who are in need. I mean, everyone's going to need food. You can also help these people with their yards, mowing the lawn, maybe weeding the garden, flower beds, or the lawn even by hand. Please don't use any chemicals. They're not good for anyone. Breathing that stuff in with respiratory illness going around is not a good thing because you're damaging your lungs when you breathe that stuff in. Please don't use chemicals. Please do it by hand. If you're in a climate that still has snow, maybe you could help your neighbors by clearing their snow. You'll get some physical fitness because that's not really an easy task. Chopping ice as well. But there are stuff you can do in the community. There's stuff you can do at home. You don't need to sit bored. You do not need to sit and be anxious because things are closed and you need to be at home. there are ways around it. I've been living in isolation for about 4 years because of my health condition. I spent 1 year and 7 months off work, never leaving my house except for doctor's appointments. So it is possible. And it's something, you'll get through it. I know you will. For most people here, it will be a temporary thing. For those that it's not temporary, that you've been doing this for a while, I see you. You're amazing. And I know you're not getting the credit you deserve. But we can get through this. Thanks for watching. Bye.